Hey everybody, J-Man here. We are back, yes, once again, to talk some wrestling. It's been a while since we've talked about some WWE wrestling. I'm excited. A lot of stuff happened on this one, so we're going to get going. I got my new overlay, which will make sense once I have my co-host in here. We are going to talk about Survivor Series 2023, War Games. We'll go through every match. And we'll talk a little general stuff. Before we get going, I just want to let everybody know that there's not going to be a Transformers Thursday this week because I'm seeing Godzilla -1. But Monday, we are back with the Legion live stream. We're covering one Jim Shooter. We got the first appearance of the Fatal Five, and we've got so the first two issues are not Jim Shooter, but they're still pretty cool. And but that first Fatal Five is pretty awesome. And then of course next Friday, continuing on our Jack Kirby Fourth World Fridays. Every Friday we are talking about Fourth World. So even though Jimmy Olsen's title has completed its run, we're keeping Jimmy as our mascot because I like Jimmy and I already created this cool graphic and I'm not changing it now. So there you go. That's just how it goes. All right. So let's bring in my co-host, who was actually they were asking about him on the last stream. So people were asking, "Where's Steve?" So I was like, "Well, he's ask and you shall receive."
Hey, I'm here.
You're here. All right, so I got a new overlay. I put Rhea Ripley because she's obviously awesome, and I'm always gonna have Becky. So, that's that. Really quickly, any other? Not a lot of big. I am monetized now for everybody out there. So, just a quick shout out. We've got Clobberin Times, who of course is a member. Steven's a member. Our good friend Dan is a member. And oh my gosh, I thought I had all these memorized, and now I've completely botched on my other members. So let me see who my member is here. I apologize. I don't know why I blanked out. Let me check out my monetization. I just got it, so it's just kind of it's all on YouTube. I'm going to make a graphic for everybody. Oh, Brennan, of course, who joined as well. So thank you to you guys. That's the member shoutouts. Now, Brennan had commented, I believe, on this stream or another stream. What he doesn't know is that those comments, if the stream isn't the same day, those comments go away. So I happened to see it because I was setting up another stream and I thought I got a comment already, and I saw it was Brennan. So thank you to my members. And I just to let everybody know, I did post this on Patreon. I'd canceled the Patreon a couple of months ago. So if you were a Patreon before, you should not have been charged for at least 1 or 2 months easy, because I did cancel it out. So you should not have been charged Patreon. I canceled it out before I was monetized here because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. If I get a YouTube membership, I get it, because YouTube, I can do things through YouTube. I can give you little icons on your name. I can give you little perks and stuff. Like Patreon, I have to go into Patreon and do stuff. So what happens is I go into YouTube, and then whatever I do in YouTube, I then have to go into Patreon and do. I actually like the Patreon format better. It was a little bit easier. It was a bit easier for me to obtain the memberships, or not the memberships. I guess the monetization was easier. However, it was harder for me to manage, and it was harder for my subscribers because they had to set up a Patreon account. So now you got to set that up just to subscribe. So I really thank the patrons. That's great that everyone, but this is much easier. And there's just one tier membership right now. I know a lot of channels have like a bunch of tiers. I'll see how it goes. Right. Like, there's not a heck of a lot more like that I can do. We are sponsored by Bearded Shirts. So starting in January, it looks like a random draw every month for one of my members to get a Bearded shirt. You can go to the site, pick the shirt you want, and they'll send it to you. So there's a very good chance that right now that Steve, you might be getting your first shirt, because I'm pretty sure I don't think Clobby needs any more of these shirts. I've already got a ton. I already got 2 more coming in. He's already sending me a bunch more. So I mean, so right now it looks like you got a damn good chance of getting a shirt. And Dan is located in a place that I don't think shipping is going to probably work very well. So there's probably a 99% chance don't start picking it out yet, but you got a good chance of getting that.
Yeah.
And Joe is already here. Thanks, Joe. Good evening. Nothing happened.
Good evening, Joe.
Big returns. Those are nothing. Well,
Yeah.
that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. So Steve, let us know what's going on your. Well, that was the fastest stream of all time.
Yeah. This was
nothing happened at all.
As a pay-per-view. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. All right, so let's talk about it. I did post a poll. Somebody returned. And it wasn't Batman.
No.
Batman, you say, coming for you. I'm counting on it. Okay. Let's take a look here. I got the red pen of death here. The red Sharpie of death. War games. Okay.
Yeah.
So Matthew Broderick versus the computer. Who did you? I didn't think Matthew was going to win. I really thought that thermonuclear war scenario was real, but it ended up. Oh shit! That's for a different stream. That's for the War Games movie. Sorry, I've been waiting 1 year for that joke. No.
Man, the best thing in that movie was the general there. He's sitting there. He's like, no, there really isn't a war going on. And he's like, you can see him contemplating, like, do I believe this kid or don't I?
Yeah. So the first, I'll just quickly go through it, and then I'll ask your opinion as usual.
Yeah.
So the first match was Bianca, Becky, Charlotte, Shotzi. So 4 this time, not a 5-er, versus Damage Control minus Dakota. So Bayley and Becky started out. Dakota was kind of like roaming around handing weapons and whatnot. Then Shotzi came in, then Io came in, then Bianca came in with 2 ponytails. Have we seen that before?
Nope.
That was but we're going to talk about that. And then Kairi Sane came in, and then Charlotte, and then Asuka. And then we'll talk about the garbage can thing and the hair, and then they had the hair versus the chair. It was like she was using her hair
as a weapon to stop the
chair. That was weird. Becky ended up pinning Bayley. Obviously, this is Bayley's face turn coming up.
Yeah,
like real soon, probably maybe this week even. As early as this week for sure, by whatever the next thing is. What's the next pay-per-view? Royal Rumble? No.
Probably.
Royal Rumble, right? Yeah. So definitely she's turning face either somewhere now between now and Royal, if not even this week. I don't even know if they're going to go this week for it, but because we could already see that play out. She was saving them.
Yeah.
And the commentator is like, "Oh, she's the MVP. Unsung hero of this match," and right, and then she kind of got lost or whatever. Hey, Joe Dog.
Hey, Joe Dog.
So there you go. So what did you think of the women's War Games match?
So the match itself was pretty good. I did enjoy most of it. I did find there were like a couple of spots that were like weird. Like there was this spot near the beginning where Bayley was up on the cage and Shotzi had a chair, and I think Becky had a kendo stick, and Becky was going for it, and Shotzi was just sort of like waving it at her back, and I'm like,
yeah, you're not hitting her.
Yeah, you're not hitting her. There was that moonsault from Charlotte Flair where she hit everyone's arm. Like she actually landed in the middle between everyone, and everyone just fell anyway. Like I think a couple people had their arms out.
Yeah, I think they treated it like it was dominoes. If you were even touching the other person, you fell, even if you weren't affected directly. Like with all these action figures, I've had that happen.
Yeah, like
Godzilla will topple, and then that's it.
That's it.
If Godzilla topples, it's like it just goes down the line of the entire shelf. Like boom, 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 boom,
boom. We'll talk about the big spot in a moment, but it was good. It was tough because I kind of wanted them I want Damage Control to win this time, only because I thought it would have been more interesting to have Damage Control in this current form last a little bit longer. It's sort of ending when it started, which to me, I wanted to see it play out a bit. I know they've been teasing the Bailey turn for a while, but I wanted to see this continue on a little bit more. So I was disappointed in that, because I also don't like the idea of 4 women thrown together besting a team, like an actual proper team. And they all came out with the
oh my God, Charlotte Flair hit 2 people, and those 2 people hit other 2 people, and they tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and so on and so on.
Yeah, it was bad. I just
one of the women got like a sit up, like I think Io maybe got it. It's like,
yeah, Io got a knee to the head, and it was pretty bad. She took that, and there was that shot she took near the beginning, or not near the beginning, but she took this shot and she landed hard. Like you could see she hit every chain link on the way down. And
that was great.
It was pretty much
the cheese grater thing. Where
the cheese grater. Yeah.
It was. Oh, that didn't look pleasant.
No, it did not look pleasant at all. I was like, ooh, that's a bad bump.
That was a bad one. Yeah.
I liked Asuka getting the fire extinguisher, because the mist thing, like, there's never been an answer for the mist, and like, the woman's got the mist. So when are you guys going to do something about it? Like, Shotzi took it. I'm like, all right, that's your mist for the match. And then like she tried it again. I'm like, did she have 2 pellets in her mouth? And then like frigging blocked it or whatever, stuck it, and then the fire extinguisher. I'm like, that's good. I still don't understand the fans' horniness for tables. That will always baffle me.
They booed when the tables weren't brought out. It's like,
yeah,
okay, so they're not gonna. They're gonna bring them out. Like, give it a minute.
Yeah, like they're tables. I'm like, why? Like a chain was used. I like the chain being used to like bring the garbage can up to the top of the cage. I'm like, oh, there's a pulley system. That's awesome.
Yeah, like, what is this? Yeah. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. It was like the Thunderdome or something. Why is there like this like pulley thing going on here? Like, I'd like to see a Thunderdome match. That'd be interesting.
That would be cool. I love Kairi Sane. This version of Kairi Sane is the best version. Like I don't know. I think she's really cute, and I think like she was skipping to the ring, and every time she hit the trash can, it was like a back fist. I'm like, what is going on? Why is there a back fist with a garbage can? Like, it's really weird. But I love this version of Kairi Sane. I just hope she keeps that look and everything, because I think it's perfect.
She looks cool, yeah.
She looks like a Soul Calibur character. I don't know. She just looks awesome. Bailey, though, yeah, she was the unsung hero. I think it's sad that Bailey. Someone mentioned in the match that she gets often overlooked when they talk about the 4 horsewomen. I think that's absolutely accurate, and B, I remember like going back and watching NXT matches, and I'm like, Bailey was the best of the 4 horsewomen for me. I mean, Charlotte was more athletic. Becky had more charisma. And Sasha Banks sort of had a bit of both, but like Bailey had a lot of both. She was a great wrestler. She was a great character. And then when she turned heel, she was a great character. And she's one of the few heels, and I'm going to get into this a bit later, one of the few heels who actually understands what they have to do as a heel. Io Sky doesn't understand, as I've said numerous times. She doesn't know
like this entire thing. Io's jumping off stuff, and like, I mean, like, okay, like Io is like a superhero now.
Yeah, that trash can thing is insane.
That is insane.
Literally laughed my ass off when she put the trash can over herself.
Like, what is she going to do with this? Like, what is happening right now?
And then she just launched herself off. I'm like, I wonder how many of the wrestlers are like, shit, she's short, and had to run forward.
They all just move away.
That was crazy. The Becky Charlotte hug, I actually popped a bit at. I like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
This match had a lot going for it, a lot of story going into it because of Becky. if you haven't seen it yet, I encourage everyone to go to Becky's Instagram. She actually posted a video of herself getting Charlotte's phone call for the match, and it's hilarious.
I don't think I saw that.
I've watched it twice. I was laughing my ass off. Becky is so funny. Basically, she's just like, and like, she's like, she sees who it is, and she's like, oh, and she just like lets it ring, and then she picks it up, and she's like, what do you want? No.
Join us. Join
us. Bianca Belair with 2 ponytails is absolutely a riot. Using it to like batter off, like to defend against steel chairs is hilarious.
That was weird. Shotzi ran and jumped off a chair. That was another weird one.
That was a good one. I mean, I think this match had a lot going for it. I would give it probably. I've seen an A rating for it, and I think I agree with that. I really did enjoy this a lot. The characters, I just love the 3 Japanese girls together, and they're all made up and stuff in different ways. I think this
like Bailey now doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and Dakota Kai doesn't make sense. Dakota Kai makes maybe a little bit more sense because she has the look, like she fits in with that kind of look. But Bailey's like completely like mismatched now. Like,
and I think that's where you're going to see her switch.
Right.
I'm curious. I think they're trying to get another New Japan female wrestler in now that they got Kairi.
Right.
I kind of would like. I'd like that to be a stable, because I just the optics of it to fit just how it looks is so awesome. I think Io Sky's finally found a place she fits in, and it's with Asuka and Kairi Sane.
So. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I thought it was really good. I felt like there's a lot of chaos, but I could kind of still follow what was going on. Sometimes with these matches, you're just like, I don't. There was a few points where there's just like in the old martial arts movies, which I love, but you know where people are kind of standing in the background waiting to fight. I think the men's, we'll get to the men's one, is just like sometimes it gets too chaotic. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the hell is happening anymore. But okay, so then we had this Ruffles. I just wrote it down because it's outrageous. Are they Ruffles? Are they chips? Are they what? It's like I don't.
They're crisps. They're chips. And then R-Truth emerges from behind the couch,
right?
Which means he was there the entire time.
Eating, right?
And he's just like, "Oh, they're Ruffles." I'm like, I love R-Truth. Triple H came out. He's like, "Let me talk." He says, "Let's talk about the big return." He's like, "R-Truth is back." He's like, "Yes, I know."
He's great, and it's like, oh, I've been sitting here behind the couch eating. Like, what are you doing? Like,
it's just absurd. And why is Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in that room? It doesn't make any sense. It's just
Chelsea Green's awesome. Yeah, she's great. All right, so then we had Gunther versus Miz. We had a couple of low blows. Miz taps.
Yeah, I mean, he low his kneecap, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, the penis," and then he got it right the second time.
And then Gunther did a splash where, I don't know, I'm calling this a COVID splash where it's 6 feet away.
Yeah, yeah, it was bad. Like I was
like, they're like, oh, I don't know if he caught all of it,
or any of it,
or any of it.
Yeah,
if there was a chess match happening on Miz's body, and when he splashed it, he didn't hit any of the pieces.
It was bad. And they're like, "Oh, it's his knee." I'm like, right. Yeah, R-Truth was the biggest return of the night.
You kind of got him on the side there, or not, but anyway, okay, fine.
Oh yeah, I just literally was like, it looked awful. And just like, yeah, I'm like, Miz can't even sell this one. He's really, really good at it. He did kick out a power bomb, which was interesting, even though it was again like, I'm like, did Gunther, like, was he sweaty or something? Like he almost like dropped Miz when he was power bombing him.
Mm.
You're supposed to release it low to minimize the impact. I've seen guys drop guys from a little bit higher if they're in the proper position, but he literally like dropped him with like that much from the. I'm like, that didn't do anything. You can clearly see that. So I don't know if it was just him, just not.
It gets me. It weirds me out sometimes with some of these moves where the person's either sweaty or you could see the grip wasn't right.
Yeah.
And then it just gets all floppy.
Yeah.
I mean, if wrestling actually was a real thing, that kind of thing would actually happen. Like you would slip, right? Like, you would slip someone sweaty or you can't grab them or whatever. But you can tell that the problem with it is that you can tell that it was meant to happen the correct way and it didn't happen the correct way. So it's a mistake. I don't know if I would say it's like a botch, which means like really like botch almost means like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah.
A legitimate, like, oh shit, this guy, I didn't get the right grip and we're stuck now. We're stuck. Like Charlotte doing her flip. It's like I mean, I understand you can't control yourself in the air now, right? Like you're jumped and
whatever happens.
Whatever happens.
But yeah, it was pretty awful. But yeah, it was just he was making. Yeah, I am too. I think the thing is, Joe, people are starting to, because they've been doing. He's been here 20 years. He's this two-time Grand Slam champion. It's the respect thing. It's almost like the John Cena thing to me, right, where it's like Miz has just devoted so much of his life to this, and he's been so good for so long that people are just like, shit, we'll cheer him, because he wasn't doing anything more as a heel. I don't think there's anything left for him to do as a heel, but he's never had a good face run. He's had face runs. He hasn't had good face runs.
Right.
So I'm curious to see if he's got another, at the age of 43, if he's got another level to kick up to at this point in his life. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't bad. The ending was fine, and the finish with that was fine. Where he taps. The good thing about Gunther is, I know he's got the Last Symphony as his finishing move, but he doesn't really he doesn't use it all the time. So you never know when a match with Gunther is going to end. Any move could end up being.
Yeah, I like that.
I do like that.
We had Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. There was he did the Phantom Driver thingy and Destroyer or whatever. I don't know.
The South of the Border Destroyer, they called it, which is the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can talk a bit about, because this one actually had a bit of a story. So why was Carlito injured, or what happened?
Yeah, well, they said he was injured. I think, here's the thing. I honestly think, so Carlito's 44. Dragon Lee has been killing it on SmackDown.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Watch any of the matches he's had with Cedric Alexander or Axiom, but he's.
I've seen it, if it's luchador stuff, I'll watch it.
So you've seen it. Incredible.
He's crazy.
It's incredible. Like Dragon Lee is incredible. Cedric Alexander's incredible. Axiom is incredible.
Axiom's pretty awesome too. Yeah, they're all awesome.
They're all incredible. So I think it's just like, well, we got to put this guy in, right? Because Carlito and Santos Escobar are not going to have a great match. So I think they're just like, we'll mulligan this one and we'll put Dragon Lee and then Carlito. I don't think Carlito's injured. Maybe he is, but I don't. It's odd that he would be, because he hasn't really done anything in the ring for a while, unless he got injured training. But I haven't heard anything. So Dragon Lee versus Santos. So we got a bit of a story. It's Rey Mysterio. I'm really glad Santos Escobar is a heel now.
He's way better.
Way better as a heel. I do wish the Legado de Fantasma just went back together.
Yeah, they were heels with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those two guys are like friggin' clown shoes or something. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like Zelina Vega gets by because she's, smoking hot. That's about it. It's like the other two are
guys,
like
just there.
just there. Like they're just there to be there. Like I don't.
Santos needs to be a villain, but he needs to be in a faction. So maybe Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo come up from NXT and join him. That's a choice or something like that. But this match was just too short. I think his matches on SmackDown were longer than this one.
This one was short.
This
was really short.
And it didn't make any sense to have someone like Dragon Lee with his skills. Yeah, that is weird. I wonder how he did that.
Carlito.
Because he was a skinny dude back in his heyday, and now he's all jacked. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of weird, dude. That might be steroids. Anyhow, if you got Dragon Lee out there, you got to give him more than 8 minutes. That's all I got to say. Santos Escobar is great.
Hey, Brennan. So Brennan is a Legionnaire. That's our membership for the channel. And he's posted all of the icons that you get. So
there you go.
It says, you can see it in the chat. You won't see it here. It says it's a Legion thing, Superman, Grayskull, and Conan. Now that I know the words pop up, I'm glad I named them properly instead of bullshit logo 1, bullshit logos. So I'm glad I'll remember the naming.
Right.
So
yeah,
let's take a look at our poll. 1 second. Since I'm on here, let's take a look at their poll. So we got 7 votes so far. And the question of the day is, are you happy CM Punk is back? Spoiler, CM Punk is back. Hell yes, hell no, sure, I guess, and don't care. So 43% say hell yes, 29% say sure, I guess, and 29% say don't care. I would vote sure, I guess. Steve, did you vote or no? You can vote. You're allowed to vote. Only I'm not allowed to vote. My guests, even if you're on the panel, you're allowed to vote. But what was your
sure,
vote?
I guess. And we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it, yeah.
But just to wrap this one up, Santos Escobar going over on Dragon Lee was the right move.
Yeah.
Santos Escobar needs to win more than Dragon Lee does.
Well, Dragon Lee's just like the best. He's good, yeah. All right, Rhea and Zoe, Riptide. I mean, did we, is there another kind of win?
This was not a good match. And you know what? I'm going to start taking Rhea Ripley a bit to task. She is not a good heel. She is not a good
heel I know.
At all. And the problem is that if you're trying to get women over like Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and these other ladies as faces who have not generally been faces a lot, you can't have them against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is a terrible heel. I always say, if you're a heel, you have to make the fans boo you. If you're a face, you have to make the fans cheer you. If you're not doing that, you're not doing your job. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to have heels that people cheer, and sometimes heels get over and they get cheered. But Rhea Ripley cannot become a face. There's too many face females right now who are top tier, like Bianca Belair, like Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, like all 4 of those now. And Shotzi now all of a sudden is now.
Like, there's all these faces that had to turn Asuka heel, but Asuka is starting to lose relevance a bit just by what has not been transpiring with her career lately. You need Rhea Ripley as a heel. You can't put it all on people like Nia Jax, because you don't know if Nia Jax is going to end up injuring someone and getting thrown out of the.
And I was going to say too, Judgment Day, it's like everyone hates Dominic, and she needs to be like. She needs to stick up for him. Yeah. Like she needs to get some of it. Dominic is now ultra heel level.
Yeah.
Like nothing. He can do nothing positive. Like it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Dominic Mysterio has finally cured cancer. Boo! It's like, no, hold on. He's literally boo. It's like, I don't like the guy can't do anything, right?
Yeah.
She should be like, you guys show him some respect. It's like, I love my Dom. He's with me. It's like get some of his
heat,
like, like Get some of that heat on there.
She's not a good heel. She comes out and she's like mommy, and they're cheering for her. They're like chanting mommy, and mommy's always on top, and they're cheering. I'm like, but you're not doing your job, Rhea. I know you're cool. I know that you're having fun doing what you're doing, but you're essentially not doing your job for me. You're not getting Zoe over. You're not getting people like Shayna over. You're not getting any of these women over. And
Shayna got
get them over.
Shayna literally went back that entire thing with Ronda. I also think Ronda maybe thought too much of herself. She's like, "Oh, I'll help get Shayna over." It's like, but you're not over.
Yeah,
like you can't. Like Hulk Hogan was getting people over. Ric Flair, these guys, it's like, okay, Ric Flair gives you one, you're good, right? Flair, it's not working this way. Like Ronda's thinking, oh, we'll have this big match, and she can defeat me clean and whatever, and then she'll be pumped up. It's like, yeah, but no one cares about you. So the fact that Shayna beat you is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like if you had won or Shayna had won that match, literally the same outcome. Yep. Nobody cares either way.
Yep.
So it's good that Shayna defeated Ronda, and that did buy her a little bit of, cred. Yeah. Now you have to have some big moments for Shayna to really now be over. Rhea Ripley needs to be a complete bitch. Yeah. She needs to be a total asshole to everybody in the locker room, the women, all that stuff. Like Chelsea Green is a heel. Like really, she loses all the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to complain. It's like she's just like a jokey villain character that no one cares about. It's like Nia Jax is all right. People hate her, but they hate her more so because of real life things than they actually hate her as the Nia Jax character. Because and then Xia Li came in, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you're not mean enough. I don't know what it is. It's like, again, she's kind of cool. Like she looks cool and does like big super kicks and stuff. You're like,
Bayley is the best heel.
She's the only one.
Yeah.
Bayley's the only heel that's a heel because of character.
Yeah.
Nia Jax is a heel because everyone hates Nia Jax in real life. Ronda was a heel because people were pissed off at Ronda in real life. People were kind of done with Ronda. It's like Bayley's the only heel that's a heel because of wrestling not ability, but wrestling knowledge, or whatever, right? Like, like being a good business person in the ring, like, like she yells at the fans, yelling at little kids or whatever, and all of a sudden, Natalia is now a face, I guess, right? It's like Raquel Rodriguez. Like Raquel Rodriguez then should turn heel or something. Then, like,
they need like Rhea Ripley has the opportunity to be a top flight heel, and she was getting there. She was beating up Liv Morgan after matches and stuff. Yeah, that was an awkward landing. Like there was that was a really awkward landing.
Yeah, nobody knows what was happening there.
I honestly feel I was watching this match and I'm like, you honestly think Rhea Ripley is awesome in the ring until you see her against someone like Zoe Stark. And then you realize, oh, Rhea's not as good as I thought she was. She still has a ways to go because Zoe Stark is incredible in the ring. And I think she was carrying this match a lot. And it felt like it. And Rhea's just, I want to have Zoe Stark realize for how awesome she is. But you can't do that when you have Rhea Ripley, who is your second best face in women in the women's. Charlotte Flair, no one's going to really 100% love her as a face. She just doesn't. She doesn't have.
Yeah, she's just like there. Like everyone likes and respects Charlotte Flair. Everyone respects her. That's it. She could be a face. Okay, we'll cheer you because you're saying you're a face now. Oh, I'm back to a heel. Okay, we'll boo you because you're saying you're a heel now. It's like Ric Flair. It is Ric Flair status. If Ric Flair shows up, he's awesome. He can heel it up. He can face whatever. Yeah. It's Ric Flair. Charlotte has attained that. Right. Like the only heel is Bayley, and the big faces are right now Becky
and Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca's forever face, I think. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna ever make her a heel.
and Becky can't be a heel again because she's too over.
Yeah.
So the only right now having Rhea against people like Zoe, and I think she's going to face Shayna probably next, and all these people. It's fine, but you're just treading water. What you
Mhm.
need is to have her go against Becky and just be a total heel to the top female face in the company. That's what you need. Cut the crap with the catchphrases and the mommy and all that shit, and make her a true killer, and have her attack Becky from behind and leave her laid out in the frigging ring, and then laugh about it the next week.
Yeah, and her and Dom can
Yeah,
freeze frame it and
yeah,
like make it their Christmas card or
yeah,
something, and like start doing really nasty, crappy shit or
yeah,
whatever, and then laughing about it and like posting it all over the locker room, making a big poster of it, or signing like I could write great heel material, right?
yeah,
Like it's like it'd be the best ever. But you gotta really play into it.
yeah,
It's like if the crowd, like soon as anyone cheers for Bailey, she immediately shuts them down.
yeah.
Uh,
She
so
gets it. She gets it.
yeah, fans will cheer. There'll be some fans like cheering for her, and she'll be like, "Oh, boo!" And she'll rip their sign or something. You're like, she won't give into it, right?
Well,
Like,
I think Io Sky is going to get better as a heel when she has Kairi Sane and Asuka with her, because both of those ladies know how to be a heel. And I think there's this whole thing where they will talk in Japanese, and it's that whole "what are you saying about me? Are you insulting me?" And
yeah, I
I
like
can't
that,
understand it, sort of thing. Like, I think that has potential, and I think that can carry a feud with Bailey.
right?
Io Sky is just too, she still gets people pumped up. It's just weird. But Rhea Ripley is the one who is the most glaring error to me right now. Zoe Stark got basically this match because of how how great she's been, right? Both in the ring and I've from what I've heard behind the curtain and all that. And
Mm,
she's been, she sort of got this as a reward. But you're not going to move forward as long as people are cheering Rhea Ripley, who's supposed to be a heel. You got
right.
to figure that shit out one way or the other.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree. Then we had the big one: Judgment Day versus Sammy, Cody, Seth, Jay, Randy Orton did show up. So Seth and Finn started off. Then it was JD, then Jay Uso, then Damian, then Sammy, then Drew, then Cody, then Dom. Then they tried to cash in the Money in the Bank. And then Randy Orton actually returned. Um, there was a cool all five of those them doing
Yeah,
that.
the
That was
hanging
kind of
DDT.
funny. I do like all the finishers being done, or like a bunch of the finishers.
JD McDonough got an epic RKO.
Like the epic RKO. Um, and then CM Punk showed up at the very end. So let's talk about the match before we talk about
CM Punk.
Monsieur Punk.
Monsieur Punk. Okay, this match actually was more logically done than the women's match,
Mhm.
where it's whoever had the advantage just kicked the shit out of the lone person, and then it evened up. The face would come in, it would get hot for a while, and then the heel would come back in, and the tables would turn, and it worked that way back and forth, which I thought was really smart way to actually book it, because it gave every face the opportunity to showcase themselves
Yeah.
when they came into the ring. Like Sami Zayn has been a bit of the forgotten guy in this entire
Right.
thing. Like you got Cody in there, and Jay is hot as hell, and
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, like they won't shut up with his freaking
Yeah.
So Sammy was sort of like the guy who was like, oh, the Shotzi of the match, and like he came in and he was awesome, and I'm like, and they pumped up for him. I'm like, yeah, this was done smartly. The Drew McIntyre thing continues to weird me out, because his heel turn has been logical, but how he was in this match was completely weird. He seemed to disappear for long stretches where I think he should have been showcased more. I'm now convinced more than ever Damian Priest just is bland. He's bland. He's just bland.
He is bland. Monsieur
I
Money
did
in the.
think one smart thing.
Hello,
Hope.
Mitchell. How is it going? Thank you for joining the stream. Please, is it true that Hulk Hogan's doing a return? I don't know. Not unless it's at the retirement home.
Yeah, I'm just looking now.
Yeah,
Hulkster is now, just give me a minute. He is 70.
wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably still in great shape, but he's 70 and he never moved that well. So he's had to have a hip replaced. He's had to have back surgery. Yes, he did.
He did look, yeah. So he's well, we'll get to that, I guess. Okay, so yeah, Drew, man, I really like Drew McIntyre.
I do.
And I don't know, he's just awesome to me. And I feel like he's just like, it's weird. It does make sense. Like, I mean, okay, so we're not doing the weekly show anymore, but we can talk a bit about the previous, like leading up to some of these. So Drew is there, and I don't know what show it was on, whatever was the one before. It was either SmackDown or Raw, whatever he's on. I don't know.
It was Raw.
He's on Raw. Okay, so he came out and he's like, "All right, guys, question to the audience: did I join the Judgment Day?" And I was at home saying, "I don't think that you did join it because you're not in it, right?" And then they're like, "Oh," and he's like, "Wrong. You didn't know me. I didn't join." And I'm like, "Right." Drew goes on his own, so it makes sense. It's like, it makes sense. Oh, it's weird. It makes sense if wrestling was real. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, why are you with Jey Uso all of a sudden?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, because he did a big thing. It's like, well, no, he sucks. Like, it was the bloodline for 100 years.
Yeah, he did all the stuff with the bloodline, and now we're forgiving him. Drew McIntyre is actually 100% right.
Drew was right. Get the shirt. Drew was right shirt.
And I'm really intrigued. I love his idea of a heel turn because, to your point, it actually makes sense. And it's one of the few heel turns that does make sense that's been done recently. But, like, it was just weird that the Judgment Day is just a Judgment Day. We've seen him every week, but this was a heel Drew McIntyre who's looking for blood. I'm like, this guy should stand out more. I did think of something. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they'll do it, but I did think of something.
All right.
Remember Sami Zayn stole the briefcase?
Yes.
I would laugh if he opened the case and made a copy of the contract. And then what happens is Damian Priest finally cashes in on Seth Rollins at some point and beats him. And he's like, yeah, he's like holding it. And then Seth Rollins comes up and he beats up Damian Priest a bit because he's pissed off because he just lost the belt. And he storms off. And then Sami comes out and he hands in his contract in his own handmade briefcase. They're like, this is another copy. And then he wins the belt from Damian Priest.
Oh my God. And then it's like Money in the Bank match for who's actually or like whatever, who's actually the real Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah. I think I thought of that. I was like, man, if they do that, that'd be awesome. That's a great way to have Sami, because I don't know, Damian Priest is just, he's there. Like, he's a big dude and he's got this cool look, but it's just, there's something not there with me with this guy. And he's not the leader. I'm over the Judgment Day. I'm over the entire Judgment Day. Finn Balor's cool. JD McDonough's cool. Dominic Mysterio has carved out his own niche. It's just, they're just there. They're like, we're the head. Like, Rhea Ripley is the leader. If she's not there, that faction sucks ass.
Oh, she's like the super leader. Like, my wife is like the most, not even casual watcher. She's like a negative watcher. Like, if it's on screen, she will look away. But it's on screen all the time now. So eventually she gets a bit curious and kind of looks up, right? And then she looked up. It's like, oh, that woman is she the leader? I'm like, yes. Not in the script, but like, yes, in the real, because it's like, and she's like, anytime I look up, it's her talking. I'm like, yes. Like, I love that it's like this like person who knows nothing. And she just looks like, visually, she's in the middle. She's the only one holding a title belt. My wife knows title belts because I've got the belt. Right. So she knows that. She's like, oh, she's the champion. And it's like, she does all the talking. It's like, yeah, she's the leader. I don't know what to say. It's like, She is the leader. So to a layman, it's like, like my grandfather used to watch wrestling with me, and he had it all figured out. Like he would watch for 1 minute and have everything figured out. Like, we'd see Hogan, he'd be like, Hogan will win. He goes, they'll beat him up for 20 minutes. Then he'll start to breathe heavy. He called it breathing heavy. He didn't know the terms. So he'd be like, then he'll start to breathe heavy and shake his arms and shake his arms around, and then he wins. I was like, well, yes, that is what's going to happen. 9 times out of 10, he was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he lost, like, if Hogan did ever lose, I was so happy. And then I love that, like, he would just write it off. Like, I'd be like, oh, he lost this time. He's like, he'll win tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow he just means the next paper. He doesn't know what. He's like, he'll win tomorrow. Let me have this one. Give me this victory. You didn't call it this time.
He'll win tomorrow. He usually did. And
then he'll just win the next time.
But yeah, that's just, I don't know. Mommy always ends up on top. You're right, Joe. It's just she's the leader. If she wasn't there, I don't care about this faction if she's not there. So I was like, oh, Drew's the only one I care about. And then he disappeared for very long periods of this match. And I was just like, okay. So Drew? You there, Drew?
Colin McIntyre.
He the crowd was popping for him. I'm glad he didn't turn on Jay or anything, because I just would have. That's the obvious thing to do. So I'm glad he just played it straight. I don't know where he goes from here. I think you put him on SmackDown and you have him feud with Roman Reigns. He's the match at Royal Rumble, I think, is Roman and Randy.
Roman Reigns has to lose
eventually.
Oh my God!
WrestleMania. At least he doesn't come out with 17 belts anymore.
Yeah, I know. Somebody did the math, and it just aggravated me. They're like, Gunther has been champion X whatever days, and then it's like title defenses in X days, equals Y or something, and like then it was like Roman Reigns days champion is whatever X, Roman Reigns title defenses is Y, or let's say Z or something, and then Y is like far greater than Z. It's like Gunther defends the title every 5 minutes, and Roman defends it never.
Yep.
So like I don't like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Like, then just, what then? Honestly, if that's just going to be how it is, then give it back to Brock Lesnar or one of these guys. If they're not going to defend it anyways, what's the difference? Like, look, everyone's like, oh, Logan Paul, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Brock Lesnar, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Ronda Rousey, blah, 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 blah. And I've always said, yes, I agree. But you have to add Roman Reigns to this list now.
Why is he getting a pass?
Why is he getting this pass every time? Roman Reigns needs to be the first one. You need to reverse that order.
Yeah.
Because Logan Paul is doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
On his matches and on his abilities. Yeah. Right? Brock Lesnar's just like a beast of a man, right?
Yeah, he does count.
And Ronda's like, I kind of care, kind of don't.
Yeah.
The problem is that she doesn't need the wrestling.
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar doesn't need it either.
Nope.
And Logan Paul doesn't need it, but for some reason he seems to really like it.
Yeah, he wants it.
He wants it anyways. It's like, I don't need this in my life, but I'm really excited about wrestling, so I'm going to try harder. Brock Lesnar's like, look, I'm Brock Lesnar. I don't need this crap. But I'm a big, awesome guy. Vince and those guys all like me, so I'll come in, go every so often and do a few matches here and there. And it's like, these guys don't need it. Ronda's like, I don't really need it, and I kind of half care. I'll show up, do some cool stuff, and then leave. It's, So Roman Reigns, maybe he paid his dues, and you could say, look, the guy paid his dues. He was around and fought a lot of matches. He didn't just walk in off the street and be like, oh, I'm this big star now. You did pay your dues, and you did a lot. So I don't want to shit talk Roman Reigns, obviously. Roman Reigns is awesome, actually. I do. It's weird because I actually do like Roman Reigns, but I'd like to see him do stuff, and it's not happening.
So in my estimation of Roman Reigns, I give Roman Reigns absolutely 0% of the blame. Roman Reigns has had leukemia. He has a family. He is now in his late 30s. I completely understand why he's like, you know what? I want to slow down. I want to, not wrestle as crazy a schedule. It's not because he's gone to Hollywood like The Rock or John Cena has. It's because he wants to take care of himself and spend more time with his family. When you face a mortality situation like he has had, you reprioritize, and he reprioritized the family, which rightly anyone should do. I blame the WWE 100% for this. The WWE decided to keep Roman Reigns as the champion.
Right.
They are the ones, this is the problem I had when Triple H came out with the other title. And he's like, you'll get a champion you deserve, one who shows up with us. I'm like, but basically you are the ones, because it is not Roman Reigns' decision if he remains champion. It is your decision as the booking team if he remains champion. It is your fault that we are in this situation. And they're trying to cover it with the Roman Reigns is a beast. He's been champion for 1,400 days. No. He's been champion for 1,400 days because he's had to defend the title like 7 times.
Right.
Or whatever it is. It's more than that. But anyhow. So that's the thing, is that this is WWE's fault. And it was WWE's fault with Brock. It was WWE's fault with Ronda. It's WWE's fault with Logan Paul. You don't have to give Logan Paul a championship. People will show up because he's Logan Paul. People would show up if it's Ronda Rousey. People would show up if it's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been champion for a few years now. People still show up if he's wrestling. How many people showed up to watch him fight Cody Rhodes?
Right.
You don't need.
Yeah, it's like Andre. People just came to see Andre the Giant. You can't give that guy a title. No. Like, how is he going to have storylines and defenses? And you know what I mean? Like he's just a big, huge guy. Like, it's just like, don't give him a belt. Yeah, it's scripted. Again, if this was real and Roman Reigns continuously wins because he's that good and he is a champion, right? Well, then he keeps winning, but it's scripted. So you're creating this unbeatable foe.
Yeah.
Right. It's like eventually Goku has to defeat Vegeta.
Yep.
And then we got to move on to Frieza and Cell and Majin Buu and what, like it can't just be like, boy, is Vegeta gonna get lose this or what? Like, what's gonna happen? It's like, in the meantime, like One Piece has gone through like 5 sagas, and Dragon Ball's like, oh, we're still fighting Vegeta. It's like, Jesus Christ, when's this guy gonna lose this match or whatever?
Well, it's simply a case of not understanding who needs to have the belt.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%, Joe. That's the only 2 outcomes. And I think it's probably going to be the former, not the latter. I don't think The Rock's going to come back anytime soon. Now that the actor strike is over. So the thing with Mitchell, the thing with AEW, from what I understand, AEW has some people there now, but they are losing money. And they need to figure out this pay-per-view fast. So they probably will have to put it on a network at some point, because they're not making the television money that they need to really compete with WWE.
I don't even know. Do we even get it in Canada on a proper channel?
Zero idea, because there's no advertising.
There's zero advertising. So, Mitchell, I don't know. We live in Canada. I have no friggin' clue when that program is on. I have seen 0 episodes of AEW. I don't know when this sucker is on. I have a few friends in the States, a couple of guys, and actually Izzyverse, who's a channel that I'm subscribed to, and he's a sort of an acquaintance of mine when I go on the Comic Vets channel for Comic Book Week for every Wednesday. He went to an AEW show. Like, I mean, they're doing stuff, but like, we don't know about it. I don't know when it's on. There's no advertising. I have no idea what the hell's going on with AEW. All I know about AEW is what I see when I'm scrolling through my Facebook groups or my Twitter groups or Instagram or whatever, and you see, because I'm subscribed to a lot of the wrestling stuff, so I'll see AEW eventually in my feeds because of the algorithm. That's it. I know nothing. And let's bring up CM Punk since we're on this topic.
Okay. It's time.
It's so CM Punk. Okay, now everyone's got to super bear with me on this one. I literally got out of wrestling as CM Punk came in, and then when I got back, he was
gone.
He was gone. So I literally missed the entire
Summer of Punk, all that stuff.
It's just like Fast and the Furious. What's that again? Like, what? I just like missed that. Now I didn't miss the entire franchise of Fast and Furious, but there's a few like let's say Hunger Games. I missed that entire franchise. The hype of that franchise. I have zero. I don't give a rat's shit ass about Hunger Games. I just missed that entire franchise. It's not a thing to me. Like I know the name Katniss. That's it. I don't know any of that stuff. You don't get the appeal of CM Punk. I actually don't, because I literally don't know. It's like, look, it's John Smith is returning. I'm like, I don't know who you are. So CM Punk, I will tell you, you ever see those videos on YouTube where someone who's never watched Star Wars explains what they think Star Wars is?
No.
Oh, it's great. Because it'd be like, oh yeah, there's like that Darth Yoda guy, and like he's like Obi-Wan's father, and then Luke Skywalker gets frozen in an ice block, and then Jabba the Hutt puts him in this pit. Like, you're just like, well, you're kind of like, no, like you literally got everything wrong. Like, you didn't even get what. It's almost impossible that you got so much wrong. Like, you got so many things. You got a lot of things right, but literally nothing makes any sense.
Yeah,
it's like you only want it's like the J.J. Abrams explanation of stuff who doesn't understand anything. So I'll tell you this: the guy who doesn't know anything about Star Wars explaining Star Wars version of J-Man explaining CM Punk. So CM Punk was a wrestler that was popular, and my interpretation was that he was difficult to deal with by other wrestlers, also backstage with the crew, with the management. They had problems with him maybe running his mouth too much, shooting, right, talking out of line. Perhaps when cutting promos, he would take it too far, or he would bring in personal things that shouldn't be brought in. I don't know. Like, I can't give you an example, but it's like, you know what, Drew, I'm going to beat you just like, and I'm just like how your wife served you papers or something to, or got a restraining order on you. It's like, wait, what? Why are you bringing that up? Like, you're going to tell me if I'm right. Chat, tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You're wrong.
Right? I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
Okay, good. So I'm just telling you my interpretation. So then they're like, okay, buddy, get out of here. You're trash. It's like, we don't want your bullshit anymore. This is literally my interpretation. Then he goes to another wrestling federation and pulls the same crap. That's now, my God, can you? So if I'm completely wrong, so is this did I get anything right?
You got right what happened after he left. Didn't really get right.
So zero out of 10.
Like, I'd say 5% right on the first one, but not really. He did an infamous promo. Thanks, Mitchell. He did a famous promo called the Pipe Bomb, and it was
is this right here?
Yeah, he's whipped off the pipe. Yeah, and 1 year right. Yeah, Joe's got it. So he did a Pipe Bomb promo, which was a shoot promo where they said, gave him a mic and say, go out there and say what you want. He basically pulled the curtain back completely. And this is just before he was going to wrestle Cena. His contract was ending, etc. He fought Cena. He won the belt. He left, but he signed a contract. He came back and he was over, completely over. And then the WWE, he wrestled, he fought Triple H, and then the WWE turned him heel. He tried MMA and is known for being addicted to people behind the scenes. Yep, Brennan, you're basically right.
Okay, so I got the behind the scenes right.
So that was more so in AEW. In WWE, what happened was, yes, he was becoming more of a difficulty to deal with, but it was never really to the point it wasn't AEW where he's fighting guys behind the scenes, from what I understand. What happened is he was champion for a couple of years as a heel. They turned him face again because the fans love him. And then what happened is he got an infection. I think it was in his back or his elbow or something like that. And he was burning out. And you could tell he wasn't enjoying things anymore. He wasn't enjoying the politics. And then he got destroyed by Kane at Royal Rumble, and he came back and he wasn't feeling great. And then they said to him, his one big thing he always wanted to do was main event WrestleMania. And he sort of said, you know, what's the plans for WrestleMania this year? And they're like, well, you're going to fight Hunter. And he basically went like, I don't need to fight Hunter. Hunter needs to fight me. So yes, the egos start to get bad at the end. So you are somewhat right in that regard. And Brennan's right. So he's like, I'm out of here. And he went to get himself fixed medically, right? Because he apparently had a staph infection. It wasn't diagnosed properly by the doctors. He could have died, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So he actually he walked out on the company, and then the company fired him on his wedding day. So the day he was getting married, he got the fax saying, we're terminating you. And then he didn't, and then that was it for him. He went to MMA. He got smoked in MMA, and then he went to AEW, and that's when the fighting started backstage. He may have had problems with people backstage. He definitely had problems with Triple H backstage before he left, and Vince McMahon. I don't know what his relationship was with the other wrestlers, but in AEW, he got in at least 2 fights backstage, and he publicly degraded some of his co-workers in a press conference after a pay-per-view. So that's the whole thing with CM Punk.
I see. So now he's back. So his last thing was AEW. He then has now come back to WWE pretty much. What did you know this was going to happen? I've been on vacation this week. So for me, my vacation is just reading a shitload of comics and watching movies and going to get like either dinner or lunch every day. So, went to Cora's, went to Montana's, went to, I don't know a few other places. I can't remember them all now. So I don't really follow too much, on social media. So I didn't know anything watching this. So I was surprised. Did they keep? Was this? Was there an inkling that this was going to happen, or?
So there's been people insisting, because Survivor Series was in Chicago this year, and CM Punk is from Chicago, that CM Punk was going to come. WWE has been denying it. Apparently, just before War Games, they pulled like the wrestlers in the main event aside and said, "Hey, CM Punk's back." Just to let you know, they actually cleared out the backstage area where he was going to be, so that no one would tweet or do anything before he came out. So it was a surprise. It wasn't a surprise. The fans have been sort of saying he's going to come back. WWE's been denying it. Some fans have been saying there's been, hints dropped that CM Punk's coming back. For example, Shinsuke Nakamura has been calling out someone week after week on Raw. Who is that? And they've been saying it was CM Punk. Now people have been saying, well, they're saying they're just making it up because they want CM Punk back. Maybe they're true, maybe it's not. CM Punk, from what Triple H was saying, it came together in the last week that he was coming back. So it came together very quickly, and they decided to bring him back for Survivor Series in Chicago because he would get an enormous pop, which he did. He got an incredible pop. Backstage, I think people are taking a lot of wait and see attitude. Seth Rollins has called CM Punk a cancer outside of the company. he is, though, willing to work with CM Punk because he realizes that CM Punk is a draw. And let's face facts. The WWE has not done the greatest job with Seth Rollins to this point. We consider who his opponents have been since he's been champion. He's fought Shinsuke Nakamura. Great guy. He's like basically mid card.
Yeah, he's not going to win or whatever. Yeah.
He fought Drew McIntyre once in Saudi Arabia. Drew McIntyre has been on a downward spiral, which has necessitated the heel turn.
Right.
Seth Rollins is treated like the secondary heavyweight champion in the WWE after Roman Reigns, who barely shows up. So Seth Rollins is looking at this as an opportunity to feud with someone who is a top draw and finally get that top status that he has deserved to this point.
Right.
Yeah.
The British sure, I guess. Let's take a look at the poll in a second. Burned so many times where CM Punk won't get one more chance. Yeah, that was my impression. So I think that pipe bomb, that's where I got the impression that he was doing doing promos where he was bringing stuff into it that was either breaking kayfabe or something or whatever.
Yeah, he did.
That's kind of where I got that impression from. And you're shocked by the rumors that were, I guess.
Rumors were that. I think that Triple H is willing to let bygones be bygones for business. If you've ever heard Triple H talk in any backstage interview, and I remember watching his interviews when on Steve Austin, Brendan, you're right. He's going to be on an extreme.
Probably.
I remember watching Triple H's interviews on the Steve Austin thing and documentary, and he basically said, I 100% do not agree with Steve Austin walking out. He's like, I understand why he did it, but it was not a good business move, and you always have to think what's best for business. Now, Steve Austin said, I was doing what's best for business, and what's best for business was not me losing to Brock Lesnar on a nothing match in Raw. I see both men's points. Right. Triple H is going to, despite what fact he says 10 years ago, let's bring in CM Punk. People still like him. Let's see if we can make some money off this. That's what Triple H basically said in the post Survivor Series press conference. I feel like everyone is walking in there saying if we can make money, because they're hot. WWE hasn't been this hot in a while. If we can make money off CM Punk, let's try it. Mm-hmm. If he turns out to be a nuisance, let's cut him. That's what I think everyone's looking at.
Yeah, so Brendan's saying too, tight leash, probably. He's going to be like, they're going to keep him real tight. If he F's up anything, they're going to be done. I feel like he wants to be back. I was watching him very carefully when he came in. He legitimately looked like he really wanted to be there. So let's see where this goes. This is going to be my first. So I'm going to erase, because I don't know anything and I was wrong anyways, and I didn't really have the full story. I'm going to erase, and I can do this. I'm not like some people. I don't have a grudge against anybody. It doesn't matter to me. Logan Paul, to me, seemed like a complete piece of trash human being from what I knew of him. However, I've seen him trying very hard, pull off some spectacular moves that I haven't seen. His promos are not too bad. He's got a good punchable face. He's got a good heel face. So, hey, he's impressed me. So listen, I don't give a crap. I'm not anyone's friend. I do this for everybody. And you know this. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says outside of the thing I'm consuming. I'm reading a comic book. I don't care about what their views are, unless their views become part of the comic, and then I can't ignore them, right? Same thing with wrestling. If someone's a dick in the locker room, well, I'm not in the locker room, am I?
Yeah.
I'm watching the match. If he's a good character, or if he's a face or heel, whatever, if he's good as that character, and he has good moves, and he can do a good promo, I'm good with that. If he's a dick backstage, that sounds like a friggin' backstage problem to me. That doesn't sound like a viewer problem. Ethan, how is it going? Thank you so much for dropping by. Hello, J-Man. Do you think Randy Orton would go after? I don't know. Well, Randy Orton coming back, I gotta say, was kind of exciting. I mean, I like, I don't know. I wasn't like a super mega Randy Orton fan, but I don't know, man. It was pretty neat to see
Yeah.
him come back. It was because I think he did a lot of stuff for the business, and I think he cares. And I think the fans will take to anyone that they see cares about the business. And I don't think he's going to go after Roman, or if he does, he'll probably just lose. I think, and I'm a big Ronda Rousey fan, but I think this was the main factor for Ronda's or semi popularity, because she's obviously a good fighter in real fighting, but I think the fans can just feel it. They felt that she's not 100% in.
Yeah.
She's like dipping her toe, like it's they're like, she's kind of like 60% in, 40%. I don't need this.
Yeah.
And if you're a 50-50 like that, or a 60-40, whatever, the fans can feel it. And I'm a Ronda Rousey fan, and even I can feel it, that she was like, I think she was pretty hyped when she first started. She was kind of all into it. And then she became a mom, and she's like, I've got my farm. I'm happily married. I've got my kid now. Why am I like, I'm kind of in this, I'm kind of not. That's what I felt as a fan. And that's what I think people just were like, yeah, the problem is that Shayna isn't getting anything. Like, Shayna is her friend. And Shayna, I do feel Shayna does want to be in it, but I think she's just not getting over. So that's the problem, right?
Well, I think Randy has to go after Reigns. I think he has to go with SmackDown. I think that's why Pierce and Nick Aldis were talking.
Right.
I think Randy Orton has to go and fight Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns needs, the original idea before Randy got hurt was Matt Riddle and then Randy Orton. So I think they want to revive that. I think Randy Orton comes back. He's an easy face to cheer for. He hasn't faced Roman Reigns. He's done his program with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins needs to wrestle CM Punk. That's 100%.
Yeah,
They've
so
already
you're
set that up.
So that's going to be the two setups now.
Yeah.
CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
On the one program, and I'm not. I know you're going to remind me. I don't care. I'm never going to remember this. I don't know who's on what program. Sorry, I can't. I can only hold enough. I can't. I can only hold enough. I'm trying to remember all the Legionnaires' names. It's like I can't. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember anything else. I can barely remember all the wrestlers' names now. I'm getting old. I just started watching Gundam, so I'm like, I can't. And I've got more names to remember. I can't memorize. This is why I now carry on. I'm actually using paper and pencil. That's how bad it is. I'm writing down every Green Lantern issue I've been reading, trying to do a video on the Golden Age Green Lantern. So I've been trying to make some notes on it. And then I literally started confusing issue numbers. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Anyways, so and then Randy is going to go after Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will still beat Randy, I think, though, right? Because can Randy go 100% now with the surgeries that he's had?
Randy Orton is not the guy to beat Roman Reigns because they played it up so big. Mm-hmm. You need literally a top guy to beat Roman Reigns,
right?
And that is literally only Cody Rhodes, right at this point.
At this point, yeah.
I feel like with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So here's the best thing I think they should do with CM Punk. Here's how I would approach it. Make CM Punk like Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Ronda and all those people. Have him come in occasionally, semi occasionally, put him in the big cards, right? Keep him around when someone needs a high profile feud, bring him in, but keep him at arm's length. Basically, right. So he doesn't come in and piss off the locker room week after week with his antics.
Yeah, so you could drop him anytime, right?
Drop him in anytime, yeah.
Roddy Piper's one of the top guys of all time.
Roddy Piper was one of a kind, and there will never be another Roddy Piper. 100%.
Do the They Live poster.
Yeah, They Live.
They Live's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, Roddy Piper's awesome. I have all of his DVD. If I have the DVD sets, then I'm into it.
Yep.
Yeah, both can be true. He could be a piece of shit on the
Yeah.
outside, and then and my thing is that I don't care. This applies to. I only care if my friends are pieces of shit because then I got to deal with them or my family. I don't care about people who I'm watching. I don't have this celebrity thing like, oh, did you hear what? Like, okay, let's say like Will Smith slapped thingy. It's
Chris
like
Rock, yeah.
Chris Rock. It's like that doesn't affect that I liked Enemy of the State or whatever. Like,
No,
I don't care. Like to me, well, I'm not Will Smith's friend. I'm never going to be his friend. So screw him. And I don't think it was right that he did it.
Nope.
But it doesn't affect my watching his movie and then saying, oh, I can't, because it does affect some people.
Yeah.
There's a few people. I'm not going to mention their names, but like my wife literally has a list of people who just piss her off. She's like, I'm not watching. Like, I can't get into this movie if this person's in it. I know someone who doesn't like Tom Cruise, not because of the films that he creates, but because of either the Scientology stuff or just behind the scenes. I'm not saying that person's right or wrong. I'm not saying Tom Cruise is right or wrong. I'm saying that it doesn't affect my enjoyment of like a Mission Impossible film or Oblivion, or I've watched A Few Good Men 400 times. It doesn't bother me. And not just for Tom Cruise, it doesn't bother me for the real irritating people like a Brie Larson, who everyone hates. It doesn't affect me watching. I liked Free Fire. Steve, you showed me that one. I liked her in that. Listen, it doesn't affect me at all. I don't care. Even that idiot Snow White woman. It does. I liked Shazam 2, and she's in Shazam 2. So I can still watch Shazam 2. Like, it doesn't affect. I'm not going to watch Snow White. that's for sure. That I'm not going to watch. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and watch your movies.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you're in a movie that I like, it's not going to taint. It's not going to taint my thing. So I gave you the extreme examples, and I gave you some other examples. It doesn't, even for us, like that's Rachel Zegler. She was in Shazam 2, and I like Shazam 2. So I'm not gonna now not like it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
That doesn't mean I'm going to support your career later on. However, like if she was in Rambo Part 6 or something, then I would still watch Rambo Part 6. Like I wasn't gonna watch Snow White whether she's good or not.
Not
like that. I wasn't gonna go see that movie anyway. So there was no way I was gonna see that movie, regardless of whether she's a good, even if she came out and was like a super nice person and said, please go see my movie. It's for everybody. I love it. It's like, I'm not interested. I like Snow White from the 30s or whatever whatever the hell year that was. It was like super old. I like that cartoon. That's it. I don't need, I don't need any other versions of this story.
Let me give some props for Jay for taking a face bump up top. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
He really has been working his ass off.
He has been.
Not just that, like several things. He's been the sacrificial lamb in a few matches. Kudos for him for the work that he's done. I really like JD McDonough, like the performer. Yeah. And his character isn't there yet, but I feel like it could be at some point.
Yeah. He's good. I like solid guys. He shows up.
Yep.
He does his thing.
Yep.
That's it. Now to tell you, he's a solid guy. Let me give some. Sorry, I read that one. Sorry. Yeah. So overall, what would you rate? Let's take a look at the poll. So are you happy CM Punk is back? Hell yes. That's 55%. Sure, I guess 27%, and don't care 18%. We have 11 votes, so pretty good. We've got 14 likes on the stream, so I appreciate that. Please remember to like the stream; it does help me out. And I've been getting a lot of comments on my Doctor Who review.
Yeah, I saw.
Some people don't like me very much, even though.
Review. I don't. This obviously isn't going to turn into a Doctor Who thing.
No. Oh no, we can't. Yeah.
But I find it funny. Just that everything is just lightning rods. Right? Someone says something, lightning rod. No, you're wrong. You can't say that. But wait a minute. Did you watch? And you said this in one comment. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, they didn't watch the whole review. I literally specifically dissected every aspect
Yeah.
and gave several positive points.
Yeah.
And like not only that, but to the point where I said the interior TARDIS might be my favorite interior TARDIS of all of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So you cannot get more positive than that point.
Yeah.
I was very careful on that review to word it very precisely. But anyway, what did Rachel? Sorry, what did she say?
West Side Story remake that bombed. You know
Oh,
what?
I had zero. Okay, so I own the original West Side Story. I don't think I had Blu-ray, but I had a very special edition of
The red one. The red one.
The red one. The red one. I've got that edition. That's good enough for me. I do not need any other versions of that particular movie. Spielberg, buddy, what are you doing?
That's
you lost your mind.
Yeah, why does he need to remake that? I'll be honest, I've never seen any version of West Side Story. It's Romeo and Juliet. Just never. Yeah.
It's good. Hand waving. Okay, one more. What do you got here? Question: what would be the best WWE rivalry? John Cena, that's 2000, or Randy Orton versus Triple H? I mean, I kind of liked Randy Orton versus Triple H. Like, what do you think?
John Cena versus Randy Orton. Reason why? Randy Orton versus Triple H was sort of like the apprentice versus the master.
Yes, that's why I like that.
Which was cool. But that was played out again with Batista versus Triple H, so it sort of got duplicated.
Right. Yes, you're
John
right.
Cena versus Randy Orton had a special chemistry. They grew up together. They trained together in OVW. They're best friends in real life. I think the chemistry that they have outside the ring goes inside the ring.
So John Cena versus Randy Orton was like Creed 3, and like Triple H versus Randy Orton was like Creed 1.
Yeah, literally. So you like Creed 1 or Creed 3 more?
I'm only thinking about that because I loved Creed 3. I don't know. I thought it was so good. There was no Stallone in it, which really kind of broke my heart. But I thought that Michael B. Jordan. Did you watch Creed 3 yet or no?
I've seen no Creed movies yet. They're next on my list to go.
Oh my God.
After Conan.
So Michael B. Jordan directed Creed 3.
Yes. I heard that.
I thought he did really good. Look, there's no Stallone, so just be mentally prepared for that. But if you can get that out of your mind and not worry about it, it's good. And that Jonathan Majors, is that the guy's name? The Ant-Man guy or whatever his name is, Kang. Wow. That guy was awesome in Creed 3. I don't know what he's accused of. I literally, you could throw his name. You can put his name on that list I was telling you with Rachel and Brie and Tom Cruise and all these other people. Put him on that list. I don't know what that guy did. I don't know I don't even know if it's a trial or if he was just acquitted or it was a lie or if it was something else. I literally don't know. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of Creed 3. And shit, that guy was like badass. Like he was like effing badass. Well, I don't know. I was like, this guy's so awesome in this movie. Great performance. He's not going to win anything now because of whatever. I don't know. Maybe he really did do these things. And if he did, then F him. If he did bad stuff, then F that guy. I'm not supporting anybody. Listen, I'm not going to, if you're found guilty and you did shit, then F you. But I'm just saying that it doesn't affect, I'm not going to retroactively go back and take my review of Creed 3 off my channel and say, oh, I don't like that. I can't, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to go back now. And because like Cosby Show is one of my top shows of all time. I'm not going to go back now and erase that from my Twitter. Oh, because someone said, what's your favorite shows of all time? And I put Cosby Show. Oh, I got to erase that now. I'm not doing stuff like that.
So here's the thing. I had this conversation this week with someone.
That was a great target. It was a bit too elaborate. That's why I'm just saying that, Joe Dog. My wife and I literally had this discussion last night. She's like, the Eighth Doctor. I'm like, the Eighth Doctor is awesome. It was a bit. I wish that was a room in the TARDIS, not the console room. Anyways, that's just a quick thing. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I had this conversation with someone the other day about the whole idea of going back and erasing what happened versus moving forward. And my viewpoint has always been move forward. You can't erase the past. In fact, the past should be preserved in the sense that we should learn from it, from the mistakes.
Yeah.
And move forward with it. But I'm going to say the same thing, and Warner Brothers put it perfectly in front of all their cartoons. If anyone knows the Looney Tunes cartoons, I have all of the things you can ever get on DVD or Blu-ray. I love the Looney Tunes. And on the gold collections, they had this disclaimer before it and said, you know, because it had stuff in there that was like making fun of the Japanese and the Germans.
Sure. Sure. You got to see some of this Superman cartoons.
It was offensive.
It was
extremely offensive. And it said, you know, these videos have been, these cartoons have been preserved, you know, as they existed. What they are depicting is not right now, as it would not have been right back then. However, to erase these from history is akin to saying they never existed.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing. It was
actually. I know. Yeah.
And that's the big thing for me. Is like, I'm not saying what happened back then was right. And I honestly, there's a lot of wrongs that have taken place in the world.
Sure.
I think everyone would agree with that. But you need to learn from them so you don't replicate them. And I think
exactly. There's no point in erasing it because you're just saying it, you're pretending it didn't happen. And then it's just, how is that helping anybody?
Yeah. You could make it again. That's why history is around, to teach you what to do. Sometimes history repeats itself, it's good, and sometimes not.
Okay. So just because we do, where's my thing for that? How do I not? I can never find. I don't use my icons enough now that I can't find them. Where is it? Seriously, can I not find it? No. Oh, here we go.
Message.
Creed 3. I've never seen either Space Jam movie.
I saw Space Jam in the theater, the first one.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I quite enjoyed it, but I haven't gone back to watch it because I have a feeling if I went back to watch it, I wouldn't like it as much as I did when I saw it. But I was much younger when I saw it.
It's probably okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see the second one.
Jordan or James? Yeah, I didn't see James at all. I can't stand LeBron James. Michael Jordan, I loved Michael Jordan when I was younger. So
yeah, I know the name LeBron James. Yeah. Is that the person who died?
Nope.
Oh, who died? Didn't someone die in a plane or something?
That was Kobe Bryant.
Oh, yes, I know that name too. Okay, so I'll try to remember that. I apologize. That's just my. But I have to agree with you. For anyone who didn't get betrayed, Evolution still be a world champion. John Cena, anyone was better. Yep, there you go. I mean, they're both fine. Best feud of all time is Dusty Rhodes, American Dream versus Ric Flair. That's the best feud of all time. All right, people, let's take a quick look at what's going on. So Monday, the Legion of Superheroes live stream. We are talking about Adventure Comics number 350, 351, and 352, which is the first appearance of the Fatal Five. I just read all three of these today. They're all awesome, so make sure you're there. My overlay will disappear when I look at other overlays. And then, of course, Friday is Fourth World Friday, Jack Kirby's Fourth World. We are reaching the end of the epic Jack Kirby Fourth World stuff. It's been awesome going through all of it, but we're going to finish it up a few more weeks. After that's finished, we're doing Frank Miller's Daredevil run. How friggin' pumped is that going to be? Transformers Thursday is not happening this week. I am going to see Gojira -1. I'm seeing it by myself.
Oh man.
Everyone canceled. Which is okay. I think I went by myself a few other Godzillas. I'm totally good. Sean is actually going to go see it. The problem is it's not playing at our theater. It's playing further away. So it's a 90-minute drive for Sean. So I said, Sean, I'm just going to go by myself. I can totally see it by myself. For me, it's about a 20-minute drive. So that's not too bad. I have to see it, and I have to see it in IMAX. I just can't. There's no way I can't not see it. I have to go. I don't care where. I would just drive to wherever I have to drive to see it. So I'll be seeing that on Thursday. I'm going to friggin' review that. can tell you right now, unless this movie sucks ass, it's getting a high review. There's only one Godzilla movie that doesn't get 10 out of 10, and that's the American Godzilla.
97.
And I'd probably give that one like an 8 just because it's still a giant monster.
Yeah.
It's a way better than Cloverfield, I'll tell you that much. So there you go. All right. Oh, one of your favorite comic books? That's nice. All right. So Steve, your link is up in the chat. Your link is also in the description of this video, plus all my other videos. What do you have anything? Well, first of all, you've got one book, that brand new book that's not as new now, but it's still new. It's your newest one is up there. It's on Amazon, and then you've got other things coming down the road, right?
Yeah. I got working still on Wizards and Demons. Madhouse, I've now listed it in the New York Review of Books.
Nice.
So that will be out in the holiday edition. I'm also looking at going to a place called, I think it's called Prairie Reviews or something, and I might get them to review both Madhouse and Office Drone and do an interview with me.
Nice.
So I'm looking to do that, and I'm going to continue to. Madhouse got a great review on Indie Reader, so that sort of reaffirmed what I always think my writing is good, duh. But like it's always good when you get reaffirmed by
someone else says that it's better.
Yeah, reaffirmed by complete strangers that it's actually really good. So still writing. I'm still writing on the Movie Elite and the Action Elite when I get a chance. I'm always out there a little bit writing here, a little bit writing there whenever I get free time. My day job allows it. So I'm going to keep writing until I can't anymore. That's it.
All right. And I'm glad you reminded me. We are going to be, I'm going to be on this Wednesday. Are you going to be on as well? I'm so happy you reminded me. So I'm going to be on this Wednesday with Steven, with our good friend Owen, who runs the actionelite.com, which is a website, but they've got a YouTube channel. They just hit 1,000 subscribers. And I know some of you subscribed because I asked you to, and I really appreciate that, but you didn't subscribe for no reason. We're doing a lot of cool shit on there. This week is going to be Jason Statham's movie Safe, which I had never seen. I watched it about 2 weeks ago. I've now completely forgot everything on it because we were supposed to watch it. And then our buddy got sick.
Yeah.
Owen got sick. So then we weren't able to review Safe. And now I'm going back through my notes. I'm like, I don't remember anything about this movie. I'm like, this is the one where that little girl was an alien, right? I'm like, that's not that movie. What? So I don't have time to rewatch it. I'm going to wing it as usual. I'm sure as everyone talks, it'll come back to me. So the Jason Statham movie Safe, which actually has multiple meanings, which I didn't know until I watched the movie.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is it, guys. Channel memberships are up. If you want to support the channel and become a member, you can do so in YouTube. There's certain perks. They're all listed there. It's all good stuff. And I appreciate the members that we have right now, and I will shout them out as we get more. I'm going to just try to design a graphic for everybody. So that is it. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this one. We'll see you on the next pay-per-view. And then hopefully we'll see everybody on Monday. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.